Have you ever purchased a car? When was the last time you had to go into that dreaded car dealership to face those slick-haired, fast-talking, friendly, honest car salesmen? Every single time you find yourself preparing for battle, World War III, you put on your emotional armor knowing you're definitely going to get screwed, yet walk away thinking you got a great deal. You gather up your ammunition for this raunchy bloodbath of a battle by researching the suggested retail value from 500 different websites. You read tons of reviews online, look up the competition, do the calculations. Call your bank, call your friend's bank, call your dad, who drives the same truck you're looking at, and get all the information you possibly can. You're not getting hustled this time. The day has come to meet your destiny. You pull into the evil customer parking only space, knowing every eye is on you, like a lion lurking around its prey. You feel the tension brewing through the dealership walls, as you can almost hear the Guido-looking salesman talking about your lovely car. From the sales desk, you step out of your elegant, luxurious Honda Accord ready for the verbal fight of the century, only to look up and see you've got someone smiling at you wanting to shake your hand. They even want to know your name. You're not used to this style of sales warfare. Where's the guns? Where's the fast talking? When am I going to start getting mad? He even complimented my car. It feels incredibly weird and comfortably awkward. You find yourself having to regroup and plan out a different game plan before you reach your hand out and shake his. I have had the great opportunity to see the inside workings of how a car sale is structured. The training the car manufacturer provides is wonderful, inspirational, and makes you feel like you've missed out all of these years. The dealership pretty much just tells you to sit in the office and go through the online training modules until you are done. Usually this takes about 1 to 3 weeks, depending on how devoted you are. The modules teach you how to sell and make money. They go over the basic stuff, how to ask the right questions, listen the right way, say the right things about the car, find the customer's hot buttons, get a commitment, execute a proper test drive, and say intelligent things about that amazing new 2015 Nissan Altima. After you are finished, you find yourself inspired, invincible, and emotionally stronger than Hercules himself. The training makes selling cars so glamorous and pleasant. Then comes the training from the actual dealership. This is where they teach you how their particular dealership operates. Their main goal is to get you to make them money. They want you to get them on a test drive and let the car make the noise. They teach you how to execute the exact steps of the sale as it pertains to their layout. This part is less glamorous, but you still are impressed. After you finish training with the dealership, you are finally ready to take on your first customer. With your freshly pressed suit, tie, and polished shoes, your turn comes to walk up to that customer who just pulled up on the lot. Thinking you know everything about cars and sales, you walk out there expecting a warm hug and an open air full of understanding. After getting verbally dismissed, visually slapped around, and experiencing the first time you have ever been told to bug off, you saunter on back to the dealership, second guessing your decision to work in the car industry. How come none of your training talked about this for the car buyer? So these salesmen get jaded pretty quickly due to rough attitude from the customers. What the car buyer doesn't know or care to know are the numbers behind a car deal. We just figure that we have full access to not care about car salesmen. We as car buyers feel it's okay to go into the car lot with one main weapon, a threat to go elsewhere. What they don't realize is that the dealership still has expenses, rent, taxes, utilities, insurance, service advisors, mechanics, the car washers, janitors, etc. If they get a brand new car in from Detroit, chances are they literally got it about 10 to 15% cheaper than what you are paying for it. By the time everything is calculated, the salesman makes a grand total of about 00 to 00 most of the time. Now let's get this straight. You've got a salesman who's on pure commission, selling a product that is zero, and he only makes $200. Talk about a rough job. I could sling burgers, far more money almost. They like when you bring your car in, buy it off of you for $3,000, fix it up, vacuum it, pass the inspection process, and then turn around and sell it for 000. That's where the salespeople make all of the money and get rich. Tip. Buy a used car. The best value and least amount of car issues is one that is not over 40,000 miles and no older than 3 years. You know you have a lot more wiggle room to wheel and deal on a car that has a lot more margin. You have a lot more dignity asking them to drop down to price that works for you. The dealership makes more money than on a brand new car. You don't have to pay as much. The salesman makes a healthy commission and everybody wins. All in all, everyone wants a great deal and they are stoked when they get it, but don't sound like an idiot doing it. For the salespeople. Look, the government requires every car to have a certain standard of airbags. Every car is now required to have metal support beams in the door. Whether you have Toyota, Honda, Ford, or Chevy, you have to have anti-lock brakes. You have to have a certain crumple zone for impact, seat standard, headrests, blah blah blah. You aren't fooling anyone when you try to tell us the car company you represent is special in those areas. When we go to Toyota and hear the same spiel from them, we lose instant respect. Every car has cool radio station options, headroom, storage space, audio plug-in cup holders, trunk release, blah blah blah. Let's face it, what a damn hustle. It's no wonder you don't put much effort into the car presentation. You go through the motions of the sales steps, but you don't care to get real and ask us what we really want. You tell us the features and benefits of that Nissan Altima, but you don't lean in and give us the inside scoop about what Toyota is going to tell you. Why don't you educate us on what the real truth is so we don't have to waste our time going to the other car dealerships? Tip. Every single car company has a secret about them that will connect with your customer in the most unique way for them. Find it, but find out about the customer first. The reason why my dad bought his specific car is because he's a big guy who gets easily claustrophobic in tight headspaces. He expects the car to have properly functioning airbags, so tell him that it's the law to have them in every car road and ditch the tunnel vision explanation of a hustle routine. My dad really only cares about the damn headroom in the car anyways. I also have a tall sister. Anything special about the backseat legroom? I'm sure she gets really excited at the fact that there is an armrest back there. Not you better know what cars have great legroom in the back. My mom, she's a real treat. She wants a moonroof to stargaze at night. She also wants a half leather, half vinyl, gold plated hood ornament, because she's weird like that. The last thing she wants spitting out of your mouth is how the car drives smooth and is super economical. Reality is, you wouldn't even have a chance to sell without a proper miles per gallon rating. Rule of thumb is, if you can't get to know my family or don't even care to, we'll be old school car buyers due to having an old school car salesman. The trick for overcoming old school car salesmen each other and then eventually get into the sales office. When it's time to close the deal and ask for the sale, you obviously get scared about throwing down 0k for a car you know is going to depreciate in value. You're hesitant about giving a commitment, so you say something along the lines of, "Say Wuz, I'm really scared about committing to this." The salesman knows you're scared and uses this as bait. He replies with, "Well, if I were to get a different color car, is there anything else about this car that would keep you from taking it home today?" Knowing you've been embarrassingly cornered, you say no to save some dignity. Oops, you just dug yourself in deeper. You gave a commitment. They stand up, shake your hand, and bulldoze you into the next step of the sale. The only reason this works is because you're trying to play poker with a poker master. There's only so many combinations. Wondering why the hell I didn't buy from you at hello. You did a piss poor job showing me the airbags. We went around the block slower than my grandma walks down the street. You sincerely thought that having cup holders in the front was a really cool addition, and you thought that all you had to do was don't stand up for ourselves, talk loud, and be a little blunt. We want to keep the peace and not start anything. There's a reason why they have to try 5 to 10 times to close the sale. It's because they screwed up the presentation and didn't follow the correct procedure. Most of all, they told us what they thought was important to us, rather than really getting to know us. For both of you, we have a serious catch-22 situation here with dealerships and customers. The customers are afraid of the salespeople, and the salespeople are jaded from too many fearful customers. Too much lying on both ends, and not enough real connection. Too much time spent with defenses up, and not enough time spent finding your favorite car. Too much time playing a nasty game of poker and calling people's bluffs. If car salesmen's new measurement of selling and presenting quality was like golf, the least amount of close attempts, maybe buying cars would be enjoyable. If salesmen actually presented their product correctly and passionately, they would only really need 1 or 2 times to get your business. A sale so structured and a presentation so jaw-dropping that the experience of connecting, backed by the element of how it makes sense for you and your life, creates emotional explosions. This is addicting. You are so wrapped up in the awe and amazement of how another human being has effectively connected his world with your world for the better. This result takes a moment of realness on both sides. You, the buyer, have to go in wanting a connection with the car salesman just as much. The car salesman has to go out wanting a connection with you, without the desire to connect with another human being and being interested in why they spend their 24 hours a day living life the way they choose to. It's just a poker game filled with calling people's bluffs. Final tip: whoever takes the first step and gets real has control of the sale. If you're in the car sales industry 10 hours a day, it better be you. Because the car buyer only wants a connection. If you can't structure a connection, then it's just simply a poker game with no true reward. In this industry, success really is about taking the risk for a different approach.